we are nearly done.
I don't know. Just when you think you're done, they like multiply. They just keep showing up. Just keep showing up, which is great. I wouldn't want it any other way. Yeah, it's awesome. Really excited to have this conversation. It's gonna be a good
Yes.
one. If you would, real quick, just name who you're with and what you do, and we'll get rolling.
Hi, I'm Christy Ashe. I work for QK,
Oh.
and I
Oh.
am president-elect to California Land Surveyors Association.
Right on.
Hi, I'm Kathy Nityankel. I work with Polaris Land Surveying,
Okay.
and I'm treasurer for California Land Surveyors Association.
Interesting. So, how long have you guys been involved with CLSA?
Uh,
A while.
I moved here from Mississippi 20
Okay.
years ago,
Yeah.
and I went out immediately when I moved to Bakersfield to find my people.
Find your people. There you go. There you go.
And I've been for over 20 years. Most
20
of my
years.
career got involved in the local chapter,
Yep.
and then once I was licensed, started getting involved at the state level.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about why it's important to be involved with your state chapters.
It just the camaraderie, the education.
I think it's important for our association just because they give such a voice to surveyors in
Sure.
the larger scope in our state,
Yeah.
as far as their lobbying goes and watching all of the bills and legislation that's coming through. I appreciate that somebody else is watching that and to be able to get that information. Also the outreach and education that they offer, but conferences like this too, to be able to, California is a large and diverse state,
Yeah,
and to be
yeah.
able to gather with
Tell
all
me
the
about it.
surveyors and
Massive.
get different, yes, and get all the different points of view and meet all your fellow peers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So in the association, is there a lot of females that you connect with there?
I mean, we have more here than again, coming from Mississippi, I would be the only female in the room a lot
Yep.
of times.
Yep.
So
Sure.
I was very surprised when I moved to California that it was like, oh, there's other women.
Okay.
I would like to just state, this is the first time in California Land Surveyors Association's history that we've had two females on the executive committee at the same time.
So awesome.
The first one was in '88, first female president, and it took 31 years for the second one. And I'll be the third after 7 years, and then Kathy after 2.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
that's a 60-year history for our association.
How did you get into survey?
My dad was a land surveyor and a
There you
civil
go.
engineer,
Yep.
so he needed help on weekends. So yeah,
Rest is history.
started when I had to stand on my tiptoes to look at the level bubble.
So, how about you, Kathy?
I came through with an undergrad in watershed sciences or
Mhm.
systems science and policy. So we had done a lot of leveling and whatnot in, the watershed environment.
Yep.
And after school, I met up with somebody that was working at a civil survey firm, and they thought that I would enjoy it. And just having the geospatial skills through GIS and whatnot, it translated over really nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. And have you guys been to one of the Women Surveyor Summits in the past, or is this your first one?
It's my first.
First one.
I came to my first one last year.
Oh, you did?
and Yeah, it was hooked.
Hooked.
It was amazing to just meet other women doing what I do. Where I'm at in my county, there's only 2 of us that are licensed. And so I've been in a bubble. And and so it was really nice to get out and meet 100 women that do what I do, and to see that there's others out there. There are some in California, but in my particular region, it's very limited.
Sure, sure. Did you drag Christy here then?
I did tell her about it.
How has it been for you, Christy, your experience so far? Like, what are some of the key takeaways?
It's amazing. Again, just seeing all the different women and the different levels of their career, students coming in. I know there were some chapters in CLSA that had scholarships for students to be able to provide them access to get here. Just again, the camaraderie.
Hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Kathy?
I'm sorry, I missed the question.
No, just like what, at this year's events, what are some of the takeaways that you're going to leave here with?
The camaraderie is definitely a big part of it, but also just knowing that, there's so many women that are still looking for mentors. There's been a talk about mentorship
Yeah.
and mentor-mentee, and that
Yep.
there's still so many that are seeking that and have the same questions that I had when I first started as a woman in the field. And so to be able to stand up and be that for others.
Right, right. So on that note, we talk about mentorship a lot on the podcast because we also believe that it is absolutely crucial, right, to grow the profession. Talk about mentors maybe that you've had in your career.
Okay, I'd love to. So one of the mentors of mine, Lynn Kovach, she was working at a competing firm when I was newly licensed, and I just had to keep seeking her out. And I wanted so much to be able to just pick her brain and just talk about things that, aren't really concerns for most in the field, but I was a young mom and just navigating that and wanting to know how she did it. She had 2 older children. And so she was wonderful in those early years where I could just tap into her. But then we finally started working together, and she brought me along with boundary surveying and has taught me so much and is now one of my business partners. So
Oh,
yeah,
That's
just
a great
really,
story.
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
definitely.
that is awesome. How about you, Chrissy? Your dad, obviously.
Yeah, obviously my dad. Oh, yes. And he just got out of the hospital, so I do want to give him a shout out.
Oh my gosh.
He's feeling better.
Good.
Oh,
He's older. He's an older gentleman, 86 and a half.
Oh, wow.
retired.
Yes, yeah, he's retired. And then when I moved to California, again, started going to the local Bakersfield CLSA meetings.
Yep.
We've had a couple of presidents come through Bakersfield of the association. So Ron Nelms and Roland Van
Oh,
der
yeah.
Valk.
Yeah, I know, Ron.
So yeah,
Yep.
they definitely helped me out along the way.
Awesome.
Have you found with where you came from and where you are and stuff, and not having that contact with other women surveyors for a lot of your career, now seeing how different it is having these connections?
It's very different. Yeah, and I mean, there's a joke, right? That when you come to these conferences, you actually have to stand in line
Yeah,
for
I
the
just,
restroom.
just talking about that before.
That was awesome.
Right. And when you go to the full state conferences, then it's a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
So how long have you been surveying? Well, since you were a kid then, right?
Yes.
And then, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm actually licensed. I got licensed in Louisiana first in 2002, Mississippi 2004, California 2006. So yeah, and previous to that, again, since I was probably on the payroll since about 13.
That's awesome. That's funny. No child labor laws there.
So there was no doubt you were going to be a surveyor.
Well, I actually started off in civil engineering.
Okay.
And then I found my way back to land surveying. Yeah, and again in Mississippi there was not a degree.
Yep.
Or not local, and you had to go to out of state.
Yep.
There was very few at that time land surveying or geomatics engineering degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do have a civil degree.
Oh, you do? Okay. Are you dual licensed?
I
No.
have my EIT, but I have not moved forward to get the P
You're like, I'm happy being a surveyor.
in 3 states.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
think I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. How about you, Kathy? How long have you been in the industry?
A little over 25 years. I got
25 years, oh.
licensed in 2008, but because I came through without my 4-year degree is not in surveying. So once I started working, I took night classes in surveying and filled in the
Yep.
gaps there. So yeah, 25 years.
Yeah. So what changes have you guys seen in the profession, from a female surveyor perspective over those 20 plus years that you guys have been in the business?
There's certainly more women in the field now. And I
It
find
does
that
seem like that's,
it's a great trajectory, especially
yeah.
when we go to the conferences at the universities, Fresno State and Cal Poly Pomona. You see more female students. It's great. The numbers are growing. And certainly just the representation on the state boards, you're seeing more
Yeah.
women.
that's huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then as some of the women grow into their careers and they become hiring managers, I know for myself, we hire more women. So it's just a balloon effect.
I can't agree more.
Same. She's like, ditto. What she said. So I'm curious, we've asked everybody this question. If there's some ladies listening to this conversation that, we're on the fence about coming to the event this year, but, considering it for next year, what would you tell them? And like, why is it important that they're here, that they show up?
I can speak to that. I really believe, and I've seen the quote before, you can't be what you can't see.
Yes.
Show up, be here, show other women who you are, what you do, so that others will stand up and do the same. I think this is the best way to grow our profession, but also to make more women feel comfortable doing it.
Ditto.
You got me, Peter.
Exactly.
So I'm going to ask you a question I haven't asked anybody yet. Yeah, and I don't think it's out of line. I've had the opportunity to work with, a handful of women surveyors, and they're phenomenal surveyors, right? Why do you think women make good surveyors?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that question.
And just detail oriented.
But we're different, and I think that, men and women bring certain traits naturally, I guess, to a profession like surveying, but why do you think women do make really good surveyors?
I think it was said yesterday at one of the talks, but we're detail oriented.
Mhm.
We look out for each other. Yeah.
I think you can fall into some of the stereotypical traps about, being detail oriented and whatnot. But at the end of the day, like in the field, I don't come across as somebody very threatening. And so if you're in a situation where there's landowners that are contentious,
Interesting.
I think there's a mediation quality that helps, especially, when you're doing boundary work. And so there's a place for, I guess, the woman's touch, right? It's just,
Sure.
it's a different approach. It's a different, not philosophy or anything else, but a perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a mediation quality that gives us an advantage a little bit.
And maybe we're just
1,000%.
maybe we're a little friendlier sometimes in certain situations. I know I'm always usually the first one to pick up the phone and call a client or someone. I can ask a male cohort to do the same, and I ask them the next day, and it still hasn't been done. So just pick it up and start the conversation.
Yep.
I think that sometimes we look at things differently. We just see
Different
things.
lens.
Yeah.
Mhm. Agreed.
Yeah.
Got to have both.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think sometimes, this is probably a little bit stereotypical that a man will just jump in and do. Whereas we will sit back and look and assess and go, okay, this is the best
Mhm.
way forward.
Sure. Yep.
No.
Actually follow instructions.
Well,
Not so much follow instructions, but actually
Think it
just
through.
think it through a
Yes.
bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Agreed. We should probably stop right there.
I've never been scared to ask a question too. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no dumb
Exactly.
questions, right? The
Yeah.
only dumb
And
questions
men are
the one
always
not
like
asked.
prideful, and
Yeah.
don't want to look dumb or whatever. And anyways, all right, that's a whole nother podcast. We'll have you guys back.
Christy's going, no. Nope.
Yeah,
This is her one and only.
yeah.
We're
Well,
privileged to have her on.
absolutely, definitely. You got anything else, Peter?
No, it's been lovely to meet
Yeah,
you, and
great to meet you
and,
guys.
and it's great that you're both sitting on the boards and stuff like that. Yeah.
And just for that reason, I'm going to get more involved with CLSA.
There you go.
Please do.
Thank you. We look forward to it.
Hold him to it.
Hold me to it.
You will.
Thank you so much for your time. It's been great.
Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.